Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next ALS Community Chat. I'm so pleased to have our good friend and longtime supporter, Ken Feldhaus, with us today. He's going to be shooting the breeze with Executive Director Lance Christian, and they're going to be sharing about a really monumental time in ALS Association history, and that was the Ice Bucket Challenge back in 2014 and related therapies that have been released this year. So I'm excited to hear what they have to say and their memories from that time. And just welcome to you both.
Great. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it. So, Ken, I don't know if you remember back in 2014, it was a hot August and something crazy sort of swept the country.
No, I absolutely remember. And I remember the fact that wave started. And like you said, it just swept the country and was phenomenal.
Did you and your family participate in the Ice Bucket Challenge, Ken?
What did I do? Did I actually do
it? You did.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I must have done it, but I can't actually remember that. I remember making a video for the Ice Bucket Challenge to encourage others to do it and struggling to actually make that video. So that's what stands out as far as my participation goes. Is how difficult that video was. Actually doing the Ice Bucket Challenge was just, pretty simple.
Yeah. Well, the idea behind it started back on the East Coast with three men, Anthony Serraccio, Pat Quinn, and Pete Frates, who all knew each other. They were young men diagnosed with ALS, and a couple of their family members figured, hey, if they can live with ALS, then I can deal with the momentary discomfort of ice water being dumped over my head.
Right.
And they filmed it, and it got sort of passed from family member to family member, and then a few sports figures did it, and then it was like a wildfire. It just spread on social media and Facebook, and was across Jimmy Fallon and the local news and the national news, and celebrities started doing it, and millions of people did this crazy thing, which was fill the buckets with ice water and dump them over their heads in support of people living with ALS and for ALS research.
No, it was, well, like you said, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity for something that became a national endeavor. And as you said, celebrities were doing it. And if you remember, there were quite a few celebrities who actually challenged other celebrities.
Yeah.
So it sort of caught that secondary momentum because just people were trying to one up each other with how they were demonstrating.
Yeah, there was crazy ones. There were people like with like fork, loading equipment and firefighting, airdrop things. They were just doing crazy stuff. So, and different locations and all just kinds of, it became a really fun thing. And, Ken, I know when you first were experiencing ALS, people used to have to kind of talk more about Lou Gehrig's disease.
Right.
But it changed after that.
No, that was a great point because that was early in my diagnosis, and explaining ALS to people is always, it's a little bit of a task depending on how much detail you want to present to them, because a lot of people really just don't understand it. And unfortunately, while Lou Gehrig is just an icon, honestly, people today just aren't as familiar with Lou Gehrig and his story. And so the Ice Bucket Challenge was definitely an assist in bringing up the idea of ALS to people in the community, because you could just say, remember the Ice Bucket Challenge or the Ice Bucket Challenge, and everybody associates with that, at least knows what that was.
Yeah.
Even today now, 8 years on, you can bring that up and people will remember that. And so that at least gives you a lead in to start this discussion on ALS, the community, and what that meant to people and what their support today means to people.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things you're passionate about, I know, is supporting research to find new treatments. And the Ice Bucket Challenge, it did a phenomenal thing. In about 10 weeks, about $115 million came in for ALS research.
Right, that was an amount, and I'm sure you know the exact numbers, but that was an amount that just was several fold what we traditionally have been able to raise in any given year for ALS research. And so, like, I think you've told me multiple times, and I see on the website today is that it jump started a lot of projects that, as you're saying, are beginning to bear fruit now, that just weren't going to necessarily get the funding that was until the Ice Bucket Challenge presented those funds and made those available.
Yeah, and so one example that's actually on the market, that came onto the market this year, is a new medication called Relivrio, which its investigational name was AMX 0035. But from the Ice Bucket Challenge dollars, the ALS Association and all of our efforts that we funded gave $750,000 to support the basic research that led to the development of a treatment, and then another $1.4 million to fund the clinical trial to test the medication. And from those results, earlier this year, the FDA gave provisional approval to make Relivrio available to people living with ALS. And, it takes time, but that just would not have happened without the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Right. And I know that the community, this has been a big deal for the ALS community because, as you know, more than anybody, the actual functional pharmaceuticals or other treatments that are available have just been wanting. And that's one of the things people in the community have been working towards, praying for, is just give them something that extends their life. And then ironically, if people in the community's lives get extended, then that creates a bigger group of people that becomes more of an incentive to pharmaceutical companies to then invest additional money. And so, the Amylex drug, the Relivio, now I'm still used to calling it Amylex, people were and are very excited about that.
Yeah, and you're completely right. I really believe that every new therapy, even if it's a modest benefit, will build the momentum towards bigger initiatives and more treatments and cures. And this particular medication really is a combination of sodium phenylbutyrate and trisodiol. And what it does, it's the clinical trial has shown it slows disease progression and prevents motor neuron cell death. And exactly like you said, it extends people's lives. And that's what we're here for. And that's what we want to work on all the time is to find treatments that can impact the disease and that are accessible to all. And so, none of this would have happened if crazy people didn't get out there with buckets and ice and participate in a sort of lightning in a bottle experience where they dumped those ice buckets over their heads.
No, that's exactly right. And I think that point of these base hit sort of pharmaceutical treatments or other treatments that are being investigated, those base hits, while they seem like just singles at the time, as you said, those singles start to add up, especially with this disease having such a sad prognosis, with the average life being so short. So even adding months and begins to start to make a meaningful difference. And that really does give people something that they so often, as you know, more than anybody, don't have, which is hope.
Yeah. I knew you were going to go there, Ken, the hope word, and that's so important. And but hope is built by hard work, and and the community of support that we have who did the Ice Bucket Challenge, but keep coming back to participate in all the chapter events and supporting all that we do that supports ALS research. And you're a big part of that, Ken, I know, and I want to thank you this holiday season. I'm grateful for you and for the years of commitment you've given to help other people with ALS. I know you feel fortunate in your circumstances, but you've made so many friends, and I know you want to make a difference. So You've been a huge advocate, and I just want to say thank you, Ken. I'm grateful for you.
Well, Lance, I certainly appreciate that. And I want to extend the same to you and actually your team, though. You've been involved in this longer than anybody else that I know, actually. And we're blessed to have you as the champion of this cause, at least in this region. And I would also add that I'm just the face of a big network of people, and I have a community around me, and I've just been overwhelmed with the level of support I've gotten from friends from all over the world, friends, family, just connections over my lifetime, and also people that I've gotten to know since this diagnosis. And it really is a community, and it's a community that is working towards trying to, empower and better the life of those with this disease. And so thank you, and thank you to your team.
We appreciate it, Ken, and thanks for remembering the Ice Bucket Challenge with me. And I think it's something I'll never forget, and I'm just thrilled that we continue to see positive results that are coming forward. So thanks for joining us today.
No problem, Lance. You have a great Christmas, buddy.
Thanks.
All right.